Hello, lovely. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Laura. I am 40 years old and I am an absolute makeup obsessive. In today's video, I am going to be doing a very chaotic full face of the brand Makeup Academy, which is exclusively sold in Superdrug stores here in the UK. You can also buy directly from their website and through TikTok Shop. Now, I am not affiliated with Makeup Academy in any way. They don't know I'm alive. They don't know I'm making this video. Um, they do have creators that do stuff for them and that work closely with them. I unfortunately am not one of those people. I am a little nobody, this little drop in the makeup creator ocean. But I have a huge collection of Makeup Academy because I love them. I think they are so incredibly good value for money. You're looking at like £6 for a bottle of foundation, £6 for an eyeshadow palette, £2.50 for a lip liner. They are really, really low priced but high quality. And I've been wanting to film this video for a long time. I was missing a couple of items which I picked up in the summer and finally got round to filming it today. So this is the look that I have created. If you enjoy affordable makeup and UK drugstore makeup, then I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Give me a like if you like this kind of content, and I would love it if you left me a comment. I love chatting to you in the comment section. I've made some genuine friends for life through doing this. So yeah, let's get some makeup on my face. Okay, so let's get on with the Makeup Academy makeup, shall we? For my brows, I have used obviously M.U.A. Unless it's not M.U.A, just assume it's from M.U.A Makeup Academy. This is the Brow Define eyebrow pencil with blending brush, and this one is in the shade Mid Brown. I've just got that all through my brows, and then those brow pencils are great. I really like the M.U.A brow products. This brow pencil, the micro brow pencil. I've also got a brow pen. The one thing that I don't love from M.U.A for brows is the brow gel XL. The only reason I don't like this, I mean, I love the concept of it, but I have very like fluffy, stubborn brows naturally. And I do like to sort of fluff them up, and I need something that's going to like hold them there. This will fluff them up and add like volume to my brows, and they look really nice, but they will just drop as soon as like I've got my foundation on and I've finished that. Then my brows will start to drop. So what I've done today is I've brushed them through, but I've not brushed them up to try and get like that laminated look. So hopefully this will be a little bit better for that. And then I don't have the like the full coverage concealer from M.U.A. What I've got is the new Pro Base. This is the Pro Base double shot under eye brightener in the shade Light. This is the one that contains caffeine, hyaluronic acid, and vitamins C and E. And even though this is sort of more of a natural coverage, it's not a super full coverage concealer, it is enough for me. It's what I've used to highlight under my eyebrows. So to prime, I've used my favourite primer from Makeup Academy. This is the Pro Base Pore Blurring Primer. The only thing I've noticed today is it's pilling, which it doesn't usually. So I think it's reacting with the particular moisturiser that I've used today. So hopefully it doesn't cause me too many problems with my foundation. The other primer that I have from Makeup Academy is the Pro Base Glow Dew Illuminating Primer in the shade Spark. Now, I've talked about this here on my channel before. I do really like this product, but I don't love it as a primer. It's sort of a strange texture. It's got apricot oil and papaya in it, and they now do several shades of this. I think there's four shades, whereas when I got mine there was only the two. So it's like a thick gel, with like a radiance to it. This one is the lightest. Well, it was the lightest, and there was also a really like nice bronze one. The other ones that they've brought out are like iridescent, and they call them like holographic. So there's like a pink iridescent one and then like a purpley one. But the texture of this reminds me a little bit of like Aquaphor or Vaseline. It's quite greasy and like balm like. So I don't love the feel of it on my skin, but I like to mix this with foundations to thin out the coverage slightly and to add a little bit of radiance. So you can see the foundation sort of in its true state. I'm not going to mix them today. I am going to use it as a primer just on the perimeter of my face where I would want, glow and highlight. The pore blurring one I've sort of stuck to the centre portion of my face. But it just has like this weird, like greasy kind of texture to it. But as the foundation is a very matte foundation that's very quickly self-setting, it may actually benefit from this texture of primer. So to just talk a little bit more about the foundation before I actually apply it, they do only currently have one foundation product, and it's been out for years. It's a favourite of a lot of people because it's so affordable, as everything with Makeup Academy is. And it's like a real full coverage finish. It's got a beautiful, like matte but not drying finish to it. But what I noticed with it is that it is very self setting very quickly. So you have to work really fast and in sort of like sections. I sort of dotted it all around my face, and when I got to sort of the last bits, I did struggle a little bit to blend it. So if you work in small sections, it's absolutely fine. But what really surprised me about the foundation is how well it wore. It wore beautifully. I didn't have any like fading or like cracking or creasing or anything like that. It wore so nicely. My makeup looked just as good at the end of the day as it did when I first put it on. So I was really pleasantly surprised with that. And even though it's not necessarily a formula that I would now go for these days, um, unless it was like a special occasion, I tend to do more full coverage, longer wearing foundations for like special events or occasions on the very rare occurrence that they happen. Um, but just for every day, I'm more of a skin tinted moisturizer kind of gal. But it is a beautiful foundation. Okay, so I've used all of that. I mean, you can see the glow that it's given me. It is a beautiful illumination to the skin, and it's not like glittery at all. It just looks healthy, glowy. And like I say, I do really, really enjoy mixing that into my foundations. So the foundation is the Pro Base Long Wear Soft Matte Foundation, and that is the perfect description for it, soft matte. The Maybelline Superstay, the old formula that I used the other day, that I decided to declutter, is a flat matte. It's almost powdery on the skin, and it felt really heavy and slightly uncomfortable on my skin, whereas this one is incredibly lightweight. It dries down super fast, like I said, but it's not like when I wore this, I wasn't like desperate to add some life back into my skin. They have a huge shade range. The one that I got is 110, and it comes with one of these kind of applicators. I'm going to pop it onto the back of my hand, and work it in with a brush in sections. So that is the shade 110. I got this sort of at the tail end of the summer, when I had a little bit more colour to my skin. I'm not sure if it's a phenomena with aging that your skin darkens, because I've gone up a couple of shades in my foundation, and I'm not wearing self tan, or I'm not even using my gradual tan on my face or anything like that, but I have had to go a little bit darker in my foundations. I thought initially it was my hair being darker, but no, my skin definitely seems to have gone a couple of shades darker, and not so much darker, but has more like overall colour to it. So I may be talking completely out of my behind, but yeah, that is something that I have noticed. And this shade 110, while it looks quite dark on the back of my hand, it's like the perfect match for me. Now, obviously, I am using a brush for this. I'm priming the brush and I'm working in sections. I'm thinning it out to a level that I am comfortable with, and you can see it just looks really, really beautiful on the skin. It does dry down, so it won't stay this radiant. But I was actually quite nervous about this foundation because I knew it was a full coverage matte finish, that is sort of like people with like younger, say, acne prone skin really enjoy. And I'm sorry if things have moved slightly. I threw my foundation brush on the floor and then knocked everything. As I was saying, I was quite nervous about this foundation, um, because, as I say, of having more mature, dry skin and preferring a lighter finish texture, a more of a glow. I thought I would hate this foundation. I only picked it up purely for this video to do a full face of M.U.A, or I wouldn't have picked it up. And I'm so, so glad that I did. My mum's actually bought it as well. Um, and I can honestly say, I haven't used a product from Makeup Academy that I haven't really fallen head over heels for. The only one, as I say, that I don't love, but that is purely because of how I do my eyebrows, is the brow gel. If it was a bit of a stronger hold, I would love it, but it just, what is going on? Oh my God. Okay, so I just finished blending my foundation because clearly I'm having an issue with my foundation brush not wanting to keep it. I keep throwing it away. So I've just finished off my foundation and I'm just going to go over it with this dry sponge just to get rid of any brush marks or anything. But yeah, as I was saying about the brow gel, if it wasn't for the fact that my brow texture needed like a strong hold, then, and I'm talking like got to be glued, doesn't hold my brows in place. So, take from that what you will. Now that I've just run it through and not like brushed them up or anything, it doesn't seem to be having any issue. And you can't feel it in the brows at all. Like it doesn't feel crunchy or anything, which is a good thing. I forgot to mention I also have the Makeup Academy lip oil on, which I prep my lips with before filming. This is the Metamorphosis pH adjusting lip and cheek oil. This is the special edition one that they did with Caniston. It was the Truth Undressed collab, and this is a typical oil. It's not like a lip gloss like the NYX fat oils. This is a proper oil. It's super thin and lightweight. It has a slight rose scent to it, tastes a little bit sweet, and it just adds that subtle hint of colour to the lips. I haven't tried it on my cheeks, but you can use it as a blush as well. Now, for under my eyes and just to brighten up certain areas, I'm going to use the under eye brightener again. And this is another product that I was super pleasantly surprised by. I expected it to have practically no coverage at all, but it does have a decent amount of coverage for, an under eye brightener. I don't feel I need to add a second concealer as I do with some concealer brush, and let's blend this in. I have flung my foundation brush so many times it's gone over everything, and I've got hairs on my face. I very nearly didn't film today because the weather here has been so incredibly bad. We've had that storm Benjamin, which seems pretty much to be focused at the coast. Like when you go inland, there doesn't seem to be any issue. But our telephone mast has blown down. My dad's been out several times trying to put it back up. It's been howling wind, and the rain has just been coming down in sheets. And not so long ago, it was so loud, I thought I wouldn't be able to film because it'd be too noisy. But you can see I've just got a lovely glow to the skin from the primer, which I do definitely think is helping the give me more of a radiant finish. It was definitely a little bit more like set and dried down when I used it without that primer. But you can see my skin just looks so good for a £6 foundation. So for cream bronzer, I have a few to choose from. These are some of my absolute favourite products from Makeup Academy. So the first ones that I have are the M.U.A bronzed cream bronzer, and then they brought out the cream bronzer and contour shades. So the first one I picked up is one of the most popular shades. This is the shade Butterscotch. Then I picked up a slightly darker shade in the shade Macchiato. They did a shade extension, and then they did another shade extension quite recently where they did some cooler toned contour shades. So I got the shade Cafe Au Lait, which is so very similar to Amber by Fenty, and Butterscotch is very similar to Butter Biscuit from Fenty. I'm not sure how Macchiato compares because I have Macchiato from Fenty as well, but I think that one is a little bit darker. Then I have the latest products from Makeup Academy are, where have I put them? I'm a bit chaotic today, I'm sorry. I've got the shades Sculpt and Shadow. These are the new beauty balms. These are the little beauty sticks. They do blushes, highlights, contours, bronzers in this formula, and these little sticks are £4. The bronzers, these cream bronzers are 5, these are 4, and they are absolutely stunning. They are so easy to work with. So let me start with, I think we'll do, that is the dog. By the way, not me making noises. I think we'll do Macchiato for today. So we'll bronze up with Macchiato. And these are just such a gorgeous formula. So pigmented, but so easy to work with. One of the absolute best cream bronzers at an affordable price point. And they smell delightful as well. In my opinion, Makeup Academy is a wildly underrated brand. I never really hear anybody talking about it. I have raved about them on here for such a long time. I was a bit of a snob a few years ago, and I always just thought that makeup this cheap couldn't possibly be this good. And I can't remember what the first things that I picked up were. I think it might have been an eyeshadow palette and probably one of these and the lip liners. And I was so impressed with them. And I've got my mom into them. She really loves them now as well. And everything they bring out, I get really excited about because they don't bring out stuff constantly. They're not like churning stuff out every week. And lately, everything that they bring out is just, it's a hit. And like I say, it's surprising to me that a brand that is this affordable, that I haven't tried anything from them that I don't, really enjoy with the, you know, apart from, like I said, the brow gel, which, you know, isn't even that I don't like it. It's just that it's not 100% perfect for my particular tastes. Okay, so that's the cream bronzer. And then I'm going to go under my cheekbones with the shade Shadow in the contour stick. And these, like the cream bronzers, they blend like an absolute dream. They're so creamy. And again, they smell amazing. See, look how quick and easy that was. I do want to pick up eventually some more of the blush shades in these. I only picked up one in the shade Rouge Noir. But the look that I'm going for today, that isn't the one that I'm going to use. I'm going to use one of the liquid blushes today. Okay, and I'm just gonna clean up underneath because I forgot how far those cream bronzers go. Okay, and now for the blush, I have 4 of these liquid blushes. These are the liquid cream blushes. I've got the shade Blackcurrant, which is the one I'm going to use today. Rouge Noir, which is the one that I have the balm in as well. I've got the shade Amber Sunset and the shade Frenzy. These two, Amber Sunset and Frenzy, are the shimmer formula, and then Rouge Noir and Blackcurrant are the matte. And these, like the cream bronzers, a little of this goes a very, very long way, and they are beautiful. They're so easy to work with. And I'm just going to use the brush that I did my bronzer with and really work it into the brush. And then I'm just going to go over with my sponge, just because that is such a darker pigmented shade. There we go. Now, to set my face, I am going to use another fantastic product from Makeup Academy, are their setting powders. And I have 2 kinds. So I have the loose one, which is the Luminous Glow. This is one of their newer releases. This is very similar to e.l.f. Halo Glow, the Hourglass Veil loose powder. It's not Tin Man like at all. It just has a very soft sheen to it that looks absolutely stunning underneath the eyes, which is how I am going to use this one. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do with the luminous one. And then for the rest of my face, I'm going to be using the Pro Base Full Coverage Matte Press Powder. This is the match to the foundation. And when you go and you shop the stands in Superdrug, they are sort of next to each other. Like each shade is next to its corresponding liquid foundation. So this is the shade 110, which is the same as the foundation, but as you would hope, it is slightly lighter than the foundation. So I'm going to set the rest of my face with this. This is technically like a foundation powder. It does have coverage to it, but it is a stunning setting powder. It really does stay, you know, where you put it. It helps keep the shine at bay, but it doesn't make you look like flat, cakey, matte or anything. It's a really gorgeous setting powder. Okay, and then for my powder bronzer, again, another product that you've seen me use on here a lot and I absolutely love are the powder bronzers. These come in an amazing shade range. They also have larger pans that are sort of multiple shades in one. They've just brought out a contour one, which I've got my eye on for when my no-buy ends or for Christmas. But it has like a range of cool tone, sort of like sections in it, which I think is a fantastic idea. So I've got the lightest shade, which is Solar 100. And then in the newer packaging, I have the shade Solar 110. And it doesn't really look like it, but it is actually slightly more cool toned. So I used this one in my last video. So for today, I'll use a little bit of this darker one. And they are very pigmented, but they are really easy to blend. Is that hair? Yes, it's a hair. And I just want to, while I'm bronzing, say thank you so much for the comments that I received on my last video where I was talking about my health concerns. I really, really do appreciate everybody's support and understanding. I was really nervous about posting that because I didn't want to seem like I was, just having a whinge sesh. I know that sometimes I sound like a broken record because there always seems to be something the matter. Um, but I really do appreciate that people, you know, listened and didn't say to me what I was thinking of myself, that I was a misery and I need to lighten up. But yeah, I am my own biggest critic, so I really do appreciate that people sort of, were nice about it. So I am actually, I've had a really bad day today, health wise. I had a really nasty flare day, which I have kind of been waiting for. I felt like that was coming, and I'm hoping that it's out of the way now. I had to have morphine. I had to cancel my plans for the day. I'm here on my own tonight. Mum and Dad have gone out without me. Um, but yeah, I thought, so the day wasn't a complete write off, I would do my M.U.A video, and I feel so much better this evening on camera. Even though it's been a little bit chaotic and things, and I have had a flying foundation brush and things like that, I do feel so much better than I have done on camera the last couple of times. So I hope that that comes across. So I don't have a setting spray from Makeup Academy and I don't have an eye primer from them. Both of those products are available, but they're not ones that I was really interested in adding to my collection. So I'm just going to go off camera, spray my face with a bit of spray, put some eye primer down, and then we'll come back to do eyes. Okay, so I've sprayed my setting spray and I've primed my eyes. Now for eyeshadow, this is one of my favourite products from Makeup Academy. I absolutely love their eyeshadow palettes and I have a bunch of them. So they do these little 5-pan palettes that are very reminiscent of the Natasha Denona 5-pans. I have the shade Bronzed, Amber Sunset, and then I've got these two which I haven't actually used yet. This is Utopia and this nice smoky one called Stardust. And if you hear a licking noise, that would be Ray giving my legs a wash. So he's self-soothing because of the storm. Then I have one of their cardboard palettes. This is the Nocturnal palette. This is absolutely gorgeous. It was an autumn release a couple of years ago. Shocked to say, I haven't actually used this one yet. So that will be coming in a video soon. I also have one of the large cardboard ones, which I thought I'd bought here, but I've left it at home. It's the All Matte palette, the Ultimate Obsessions palette. And then my favourites from them are these size. So these are the little 15 shade eyeshadow collections, and these are the ones that are £6. These are £3.75. These are £6, and then my big card one was 12. And I have all of these. These are my favorite. I absolutely love these. And then I've got this one, which is a slightly different one. This was part of the collection that they did with to celebrate Superdrug's 60th birthday, and it was a redo of their old sort of cult classic from the 2000s, early 2010s, I think, which was the Elysium palette. And this came with like a little duo eyeliner as well. But this is a gorgeous palette. The quality of these is absolutely phenomenal. So I've got The Illusionist, which was one of the first ones I picked up. Virtual Glow, Blush Nudes, Soft Nudes, which is a favourite. Firestorm, I haven't used this one yet. Obsession, which is the small version of the Ultimate Obsessions. This is an all matte palette, very reminiscent of Makeup by Mario. Then we have the Undressed collection, which went with the lip oil. It was the collab that they did with Caniston. And then the Starlight palette. And I just think they're such a stunning, the colour stories, the formula, the shimmers are incredibly pretty. They have a variety of shimmer formulas. They have like a matte with shimmer running through it. They have some that's more of a satin. They have like a marbled one. They have ones that are like a flaky sort of formula, and then they have like a wet look foil. The one that I'm going to be using today is the shade Virtual Glow. I haven't used this one yet. I've only touched, like swatched it, and some of the shimmers in here are really special, really like shifty, foily, and then you've got these ones that are sort of like more of a satin. So this is the one that I'm going to be using today. I've been so excited to get this on my eyes. Now this, when you first look at it, it just looks like a purple palette. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the ultraviolet palette from Urban Decay, the Anastasia Norvina palette, but there really is only a couple that are like pure purple. There's a lot of nice cooler toned neutrals and sort of mauvey tones in here, and those are sort of the shades that I'm feeling. I'm feeling sort of like these mauves sort of over here, and then this shade here, which is a duochrome. So let's just dive right on in. The first shade that I'm going to pick up is this one here, which is this nice neutral tone. And let's get a look on my eyeballs. and the mattes are incredibly soft. There is pigment there, but it's not the kind of pigment that is difficult to blend and work with. They're just so soft and beautiful. They've got 2 new palettes out that I am really want to pick up, but obviously I'm on my no buy. There's, I think one's called Glamour Touch and one is called Magic Touch, and they both contain one of those like petri dish like gel shades in there, which I can totally live without. But the other shades in the palettes look absolutely stunning, especially the shimmers that are in those palettes. They look like they're really special shades. I saw my friend Penny from Penny M Beauty do a look with I think it's called Glamour Touch. It has sort of like a grungy colour story to it. And she was swatching the shimmers in that palette, and it was stunning. It comes in you can buy it as part of a Halloween bundle that comes with like a cute like makeup pouch and some other products like a blush. I think there's mascara maybe in there and some lip products. So that brown definitely has like a rosy, like mauve undertone to it. It's really pretty. To deepen up, I'm going to move over to this brown here, and I'm going to take a smaller, more concentrated brush, this sort of brush, and I'm going to deepen up my outer corner, and then I'm going to start moving into some of the more purpley shades once I've got my grounding tones down. Okay, so now my base is down. I'm going to move into this shade here, which is like slightly purpley, like neutral, and it has gold shimmer in. And I'm going to put that all across my lid, but avoid the inner corner. And I want to just put that down as a little bit of a base. Picks up a lot. And then I'm going to just flick that up into my crease slightly as well. Okay, so I've just taken that underneath my lower lash line, just on the outer corner. And now for the inner part of my lid, I'm going to go with this light satin here. And I'm going to apply that just to the inner portion. Okay, so that looks really pretty. Now I'm going to take this beautiful sort of, it's like a white sort of iridescent purpley shade. It looks like nothing until you actually swatch it, and I'm just going to pop that in the middle. It has a lot of sparkle to it. Like that. And I'm also going to add that to my inner corner as well. Okay, so that is my eyeshadow done. I'm so happy with how they look. Um, really pleased with how this look is coming together already. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to line my eyes, and I have pencil liners from M.U.A, and I also have liquid liners. Now the pencil liners that I have, I've got two full size ones, and then I've got a few of these duo ones that come with the little palettes as part of like Christmas gift sets. But the ones that I bought in full size are this beautiful sort of like shimmery navy in the shade Downtown, and then this sort of like plummy brown in the shade Dusk. And I want to use the shade Downtown, the navy, and just sort of smudge that along my upper lash line. Okay, and I'm just going to smudge that with a little brush. And I do apologise if the lighting looks a little bit off. The light that I'd got on in front of me has died, unfortunately. So I'm having to work with what I've got to get this video finished. Okay, so that's my eyes finished with some mascara, and I've also just gone through my brows slightly with the Makeup Academy Brow Define Precision Liquid Eyebrow Pen. This is great. This is the shade medium brown. So easy to use, work with. It's like a brush tip, and it's the perfect shade to match my brow hairs. Now for highlighter, again, this is another area that Makeup Academy shine. They do the shimmer highlight powders. These are super cheap and incredibly beautiful quality. I've got the shade Radiant Cashmere, which I use as like a shimmery bronzer. I've got the newest one from them is Oyster Silk. I bought that when I picked up the foundation in the summer. And then the shade Pink Shimmer. And I think for this look, I was going to show you how I use Radiant Cashmere. But I do have quite a lot of glow going on because of that primer. So I think I'm just going to use the shade Pink Shimmer, and we'll just do a little of this on the tops of the cheeky bones. And like I say, these are blinding highlights. My mum loves these as well. She has a few of these. She's a fan of highlighter, is mum. And then if we're going for 2016 glow, we might as well go for the placement as well. Okay, and now for powder blush, I only have two of their blushes, their powder blushes. I got when they did a shade extension, I picked up the two shade extensions. So I've got the shade Rouge Noir, which I've got in the liquid blush and the blush balm. And then the one that I'm going to use today is the shade Marshmallow. And I haven't actually tried these, so this is going to be a first impression. Just pick up quite a lot. They have some lovely shades in these. There we go. Such a nice soft pink that sort of would suit absolutely everybody, I think. Okay, and now all that's left is lips, and this is where I have got a ton of products. My absolute favourite products from Makeup Academy are their lip pencils, and I also adore their satin sheen lip stilos. So I have a bunch, mostly all of their intense colour lip pencils. They've just done a shade extension, and there's 7 of them that I want, but no buy. So I haven't picked them up, but I am so desperate to get them. And then the satin sheen lip stilos. Again, I have most of the shades of these. These are a stunning, glossy, like balmy texture that has a good amount of colour payoff, but isn't super opaque in your face colour. The ones that are like that are their matte lipsticks. And with the M.U.A range, they do a lip liner and then the corresponding lip product in all different formulas. So you've got like a matte lipstick, a satin sheen lip stilo, a lip gloss, and a liquid lipstick, and all of the shades are exactly the same. This was a range that they did a few summers ago, called the Neon Nights collection, and this was a range of matte lipsticks in these bright, intense neon shades. So I picked up 3. I've got the shades Guava, Trance, this gorgeous orange, and this blue toned pink called Kinetic, which is like Max Candy Yum Yum. And then I've got one of the new shimmer lip stilos in the shade Sweet Orange. This was a free gift. My mum's got all of these. She absolutely loves them. That won't go with the look today. Okay, so we'll go for Obsession Lip Pencil with the Sincere Satin Sheen Lip Stilo, lightened up in the middle with the shade Heroic, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of the Intense Colour Lip Liner in the shade Survivor, just to add a little bit of definition and to add some of that sort of purple tone into the look. Okay, and there we go. That is my final look. Bit of a chaotic video, but I hope you enjoyed this full face of Makeup Academy. I really am so shocked at how much glow that primer has given to that foundation. It is still, I mean, I'm completely set, but it is still shining through that foundation. So I think that's going to be a beautiful one to mix in with the foundation as well. I absolutely love my eyes, how they've come out, but I always love my looks when I use my Makeup Academy palettes, and that is a top tier lip combo. I mean, it looks like I've used high end lip products. I think, you know, Makeup Academy, nothing is over £12 for one of the big eyeshadow palettes. And I just think this is such a gorgeous look. The quality of the products just speaks for itself. If you haven't checked out Makeup Academy, then I really do urge you to try them. You could get a whole full face of brand new makeup and not break the bank. I mean, nowadays you go to Sephora and buy like 2 items and it's like £100. For £100 from Makeup Academy, you could get an entire new makeup collection. And that, I'm not kidding. That's like legit. You could do that. They sell exclusively in store on Superdrug. You can also buy direct from their website and on TikTok shop. They do a lot over on TikTok. They do lives, giveaways, that sort of thing. And their social media team looks like they have a real laugh with them. They are a fantastic brand that I fully stand behind. You know, I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I have a huge collection of their products, all bought with my own money, simply because I love them. So I'm so sorry about the awkward lighting and change in lighting. I hope you can sort of get an idea of the look. I will take some photographs that I will insert here at the end so you can see the look, you know, properly. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, lovely, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.